Hey, booze, hey. Do your blankets feel like super glue in the morning? Well, sis, it's time to shake them off. Welcome to Wake Up Happy, Sis, the show that jumpstarts your day with a bang. We're strolling down these self-care streets as we navigate the maze of wellness and healing. We're helping you live happy, healed, and whole. And we do it all with a hearty dose of belly laughs for good measure. Stay tuned and get ready to wake up happy, sis. Hey, booze. Hey, it is your girl, Leanne Dose, Chief Self-Love Officer over here at the Wake Up Happy Sis show. And, I hope you guys are ready for another fire-ass episode. We broadcast live on KCCR Cityscape Radio, where we're changing the narrative for our people because we are always telling our stories our way. Now, let me ask you a question. When was the last time that you actually felt successful and at peace? Now, if you're struggling to find that answer and say, damn, I don't even remember, then hopefully this episode is for you. Now, you would have ain't nobody got nothing to say to you right now. So
he broke free.
He said he's trying to get out the success. He's trying to get out the room. That's his problem. So today we are talking about the success trap, the lie that tells us as Black women, Black men, and others too, that we have to do it all, be it all, and sacrifice ourselves to be seen as worthy. But what if success didn't have to feel like burnout? That's what we're hoping for today. Let me let him out the damn room. Go ahead. Don't be jumping on people. Okay. Sorry. This is the ghettoest episode. I'm sorry, Joy, that we got you on. I got you in the ghetto today. But we've got a fabulous guest returning to the show, Joy Young, millionaire mindset coach. She is the coach. Okay, in case you didn't know, Joy, the coach. Make sure you say the in front of it, the coach. Okay, and she's teaching us how to claim success without stress. So I want you to grab your tea. It could be whatever you want. Won't judge what's in your mug. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Take a deep breath. You might want to get you a pen and paper out so you can take some notes down, because we always come with the good tips for you. So we're trying to give you the blueprint to success on your terms, because nobody can really define success for you. Right. You have to define it for yourself, right? So welcome back, Joy. How are you today?
I am amazing. Thank you so much for having me back. It's been a pleasure. And it's been 2 months? I think it was 2 months.
It's been a couple months.
2 months.
Absolutely.
But I appreciate you keeping me in mind.
Yes. No, where I told you, you are welcome to come back
or you could just stay.
That's what Sharonda did.
I'm with you.
So for those of you who are new to you, Joy, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and how you got started?
Absolutely. So I am Joy, the coach. And a lot of people ask me why I stress because I don't have one particular topic or one particular genre industry that I've mastered. So then therefore I'm the coach. So as long as we could talk about it, I could typically help you navigate. So I am a life coach. But my main focus is as a life coach is manifestation, realization, and success. Yeah. And then I'm also a business consultant and business coach. I have several programs that I help individuals who would like to progress in corporate America. Individuals that want to transition from corporate America to entrepreneurship, and also startup businesses, getting them from zero to launch. And then the one I recently just added is assisting corporate America with organizational health and development, along with diversity, equity, and inclusion. So those are my main things. But by trade, I am a project director. So that's I love project management and operations. I think I just keep it, and that's me.
I definitely get that. I'm definitely I'm a PMP certified project manager. And so I have my tech side, and then I have this wellness side, and
Right.
figuring out how to blend the two of those, so that, what I got from what you're saying is you're helping people find success on their terms, whatever that means for them.
Exactly, because I think a lot of people forget that everybody's success is differently. And I actually put that on the shirt
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
we're sometimes we try to find our reflection in somebody else's mirror, but we don't create our own identity. And you're told what you need to be when you grow up. You need to be a doctor to be successful. You need to be this. They never allow you to be you. So when you stop comparing yourself and realize my success is going to look different because it's according to my ability,
Hmm.
then
Yes.
you're then successful.
Yes. And to me, success definitely is a very personal thing, because what I define success to be is going to be drastically different from what you do and from Tony and from Sharonda, right? Some people's success is tied to money. They
Absolutely.
feel that once I've made this amount of money, I'm successful. Some people, it's in the lives that they've changed, right? If I've helped one person, I've been successful. Some people, it's about I've been a good person. I've put out the best energy. My light has shined my whole life. That is success for them. And so I want people to remember that success is something that is personal and deeply rooted within you. Nobody can tell you you're successful or you're unsuccessful. You have to define what it is for you, instead of drinking the Kool-Aid that says I have to have 5 degrees in the corporate executive position and make $300,000 a year before I'm able to say I'm successful.
And I hate the fact that people gauge success in money because even let's look at some millionaires. Some of them are millionaires because of net worth. That doesn't mean they actually have the money. And we can
Exactly.
actually look at Elon Musk. His
How about
money is tied up in his stock.
Mm-hmm.
So he has net worth wealth. But when them stocks going down like they have been, his money is dwindling. That doesn't mean he has that much money in the bank. It's just what his stocks and his assets are self-worth. So it's like stop with the money thing because
Oh,
it's not that serious. It's like if you put money, if you have more time than money, you are actually more successful because then you're able to enjoy it. You're able to live. But if you're
that?
constantly focused on the money, you're losing time and you can't get that back.
and when you look at success, right? Let's look in terms of money for those people who really say money is a defining characteristic of success for me. And I ask people, what people don't get is money usually isn't even in your top 5 list of what's most important when you really get down to brass tacks. If I said I would give you $1 billion, but you died in an hour, 99% of the population gonna take it. And I'm saying a healthy person with an average life expectancy, said, let's say 70, 80, and you 30, 40.
But you know what? A
Chances are
lot
you
of
ain't making
people,
that money.
right? A lot of people don't even understand how easy it is to make $1 million, right? Real quick, in 40 years, a person that makes $25,000 a year will have $1 million. That equals $1 million. So it's all about how quicker you can get to the $1 million than over the course of 40 years. And that's where people need to shift their mindset. And I did a live in reference to how we utilize our money in our community. I'm talking about Black people. And the top number one thing that we utilize our money most on the industry is hair and personal products.
I was,
But on the white community, they do real estate. That was their first.
mm-hmm.
How different is that? Then I think apparel was second for us. Then it was it was like stocks or something for, I got to pull it up, but it was stocks or something for their number two. It's a total different mindset. And then we wonder why we haven't shifted that dynamic yet because we focus on the wrong thing. but they make
Well,
money.
but because we focus on the wrong thing because we've been focused by others on the wrong thing. Whereas we came into this country secondhand citizens, not given the same access to opportunities and wealth building that our white counterparts and other non-black counterparts have traditionally had. Meaning, we didn't have the money to invest in real estate, to invest in stock, or the knowledge. It wasn't something that could easily be handed down because we weren't given that opportunity in the first hand. But what we were shown is, if you're successful, you're going to have the latest kicks, and you're going to have we've been put into the mindset of a consumer, and we've allowed ourselves to remain in the mindset of the consumer. To me, our remaining in that feeling of lack, that we can't build. Most people are never going to make $1 million because they don't think they can make $1 million. You got to think it first. Just like you're saying, that mindset shift has to happen to realize that $1 million isn't a lot of money these days. It's not a lot of money, and anybody can have it. We have to shift our mindset, and I agree with you on that. So when you're teaching women how to manifest abundance, right? It's not just about wishful thinking. I'm going to just think about this thing, and it's going to come to action. What would you say is maybe a tangible first step for someone who really wants to build a life of ease and prosperity without burning out?
So one of the things that I found out, and so I have a coaching program solely towards Black women, because we have a Black privilege. This is not, no offense to a Black man or anything like that. You all have your own set of strengths, but the natural strength that we have is the ability to pivot and the ability to strategize. That's a absolute truth.
That's right.
And we need to utilize that in order to be successful. So I teach women how to utilize the game of chess and apply it to corporate America, and then also apply it to entrepreneurship. Because when you're playing checkers, the whole goal is to dominate the board. That's your job. Dominate the board, get to the end, king me or crown me, whatever everybody use. But when you're playing chess, every piece have their own position. And when you focus on the main two players, which is, believe it or not, the pawn and the queen, because the pawn can do what a queen do, just not in its extent. They can't go across the board, but they can go each direction. The queen is the game. Everybody think the king is, but the king is your mission. What is your goal? What is your business? And you have to protect that, because the moment you have to move that king, you're out of line. You need to figure out, you need to readjust, because you should never have to move that king. You should never have to move your business. And when you learn the power that a queen has, you can dominate the board, and you can use your pawns as your infrastructure. Then you got your knights, and each piece represent a particular purpose in business and in your development in corporate America. And if we can implement this, and there's another fun fact about chess. You only have white and black pieces. I don't care what color wood it is. They only do white and black. The white piece is designed to move first in the game. We already know how society looks, right?
Yep, white.
But you may feel, well, they got the advantage because they're able to move, first. No, the black piece does, because I'm able to see your move and strategically work my move.
Exactly.
And so, no, we have a black privilege. Move first. Go ahead. Like my grandma say, never let your right hand know what your left hand doing. I want to see your move first.
Yeah.
That's offensive defense, baby. That's offensive defense.
Exactly. And so it's extremely important that you take your skill, your creativity, you take that, you find your unique value proposition, and you turn that into your success tool, whether in corporate or entrepreneurship.
Amen, Joy. Come on, girl.
Look, I told y'all to get your papers, get your notes ready, because look, we coming. You see Joy already coming with the heat for you. So if you ain't paying attention, I don't know. And Connie said pivot and strategy. Yes.
Hey, Pastor Connie.
Oh, that's your people.
Yeah, I shared it on Facebook.
Oh, I love it. Yes. Look, we always want to know what somebody else's move is first. I think most of us are too ready to move and jump and strike. And no, I would love to see what your move is so I can strategize on my best move.
Right. Because just like, I'm sorry, I didn't like even, I don't know football. I'm just going to throw that out there. But when you learn somebody else's move, you don't necessarily have to be on the defense. And we get on the defense because we feel that it was unjust when they made that move. Mm-hmm. We can still remain on the offense when they make their first move, because I can still take the ball from you. I can do whatever I need to do in your play, right? I hope I'm really kind of going through that game the way it's supposed to, because I don't know nothing about it. I don't even watch it.
I think you did good enough. You did good enough that they understand what you're saying.
And you have to take out of your mind the triggers, because nobody owns your triggers but you.
There you go.
So you can't say, well, you know it triggered me. How I know that? That ain't my job to know what's on the inside of you. But if you can remove your triggers or remove your limited issue, right?
Move the button, Joy.
Move it.
You pressing a Y and an M shows up, I move the trigger.
Exactly.
Because I control me, not you.
Right. And that's where we lead to where we be unsuccessful, is because we have those triggers. And you're not going to talk to me that way. No, it's a way to get them back. You know, I think we talked about it last time. And listen, you can not make me mad. You can do whatever. I'm taking notes so I can make sure I can go to the EEOC. I'm writing my documentation, everything. Keep on doing it. And if you really get me, I'm going on leave. FML right on out. I'll see you in a couple of months.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I think people, like I said, it's the strategy part. We have to be strategic. One, you have to know what your triggers are. And really honestly know and own those triggers. That means you got to sit in it and you got to go through the healing process. You have to be on your healing journey. If you're not, people will always be able to and be allowed to pull your trigger because you have not set a boundary with yourself that says, I'm going to fix what hurt me, because the only person I can control is me. I can't control how somebody comes at me. Somebody want to come at me left, right, and center. I can only control how I respond to it and how I let it affect me. So if you don't have control and ownership of your triggers and working to resolve them, some people, I think, like to wear their triggers like a badge of honor. Mm-hmm. Right? Now, if I've communicated with somebody because my trigger is is something being done to me, and I've told you and communicated with you, I don't like it when such and such, because that hurts me. And you continue to do it, then I'm done for staying.
Right.
And I can't blame them because they're just being them. Only person I can blame is me, because I keep allowing it. People only do to you what you continue to allow.
Absolutely.
Right.
So once I know it, I can correct it. Now I'm saying once I know my trigger, I can correct it. And then I can correct others who cross the boundary that I have set now that I've healed that trigger.
Right. But it's almost like school. You know, if you don't pass that grade, you got to redo it, right? So when you have issues that you have not addressed, hurt, anything, and the universe is designed to give you, a circle effect. It's got to keep coming until you learn from that situation. It may not come next week. It may come 3 years from now. You may be in a whole new relationship, living your best life, and then boom, they say something that your ex said, and next thing you know, you back raised up, and you're like, wait a minute, this is a totally different person. You haven't learned how to navigate and own that situation. So it's going to continue. You literally attract who you are. So if you're not, if you are a person that always say, well, I'll never get ahead, what do you think is going to happen?
Right. You won't. You never will.
You have what you say.
The universe is inspired to give you what you want. And you've told the universe that's what you want because that's what you honestly believe.
Exactly, because and then of course in the Bible it says one plant, one water, but God give the increase. So I can put the seed in there. Somebody can water it by saying the same thing that I did.
That's right.
And it has to come to pass because he's going to give an increase, good or bad. Right. And when you learn to remove that, I'm telling you, that's when the manifestation really happens because you already have everything you need. You just can't see it or identify it because you haven't grown to that level yet. You're not going to get, this is like you would not get a 4-year-old a brand new car. You're not ready.
Exactly.
But we know that you're going to get a car, just like our life. We already know we're going to get this. We're going to get that. It's already there. But why would I give it to you when you're 4?
Yeah, I love that. And people don't sometimes realize that trauma has been building up over years. I'm 53. Okay. I've got some trauma that's been there probably 40 something, 50 of them years. Things
longer than that
happened, right? That, trauma that was there before I was born, when I was in the womb, right?
That's the way trauma starts.
They feel like it's supposed to be they want this microwave fix. It took you 30 years to get to this level of trauma. What makes you think it's going to take you 2 days to resolve the underlying issue when most people haven't even gotten to the underlying issue?
Right.
We keep putting Band-Aids over a gaping wound, and we've never went in and sewed up what's on the inside that's broken. So if you're going to continue to live in that fallacy of, I'm okay, I'm whatever, you continue to let these things happen to you, and you've not changed so that you can control your destiny. The only way for you to get over those triggers is to walk through them.
Right.
And to realize they no longer have control over you.
Right.
That's how you get through it. You've got to work on it. And Lachey Young said, even in friendships, especially in friendships, people have a sense of entitlement to us, especially when you're successful. When you've got what people deem as success.
Right.
People then feel they have a level of entitlement to you, to your success, to your time.
Absolutely.
Everything. And
you have to set those boundaries.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, you have to be the one to set boundaries.
I mean, I had to set boundaries, and this wasn't to a particular person. When I started my coaching business and things like that, I had to say, okay, they'll text me because I'm gonna text real bit quick, but I had to shift and I say, listen, if you want a session, you need to go on here and you need to put it in. And if they don't put one in, you didn't want nothing. You just wanted quick access to me. It doesn't mean you don't have access to me. I need to shift it to where it's not a friend access and we're dealing with a business access. But I want to go to something that you mentioned about dealing with it. It's going to hurt to deal with it.
Yes,
because think about a person who had a heart attack and need a heart surgery. They got to break your ribs to get to it. So in order to fix the problem, you're going to have to go through a level of pain, whether it's uncovering the situation, going back through that emotion, because a lot of people self-heal, and what it becomes? All it becomes is a wall.
Yes.
Or a defense mechanism. And it's like you didn't heal. You just learn how to cope and navigate through it. That's not real healing.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah. And it's not even really coping. You've learned how to push it to the side.
Or you just moved and just forgot about everybody at home.
I liked it. They liked it. I call it we lock things in our soul and we lock it away. And oh no, I don't even have to worry about that. Yes, you do. Because it's going to come back. One thing that you said earlier that Sharonda and I say all the time on here is you're gonna go through the lesson. The lesson's gonna show up in different faces, different places, and different spaces until you learn it.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's why you keep meeting that same dude with a different face or that same woman with a different face. And you're wondering, well, why does this keep happening to me? Because you've not learned the lesson and you've continued to leave yourself open to all of these things. You continue to let it happen to you. We always want to blame everybody else for what happens to us. We don't want to take accountability for what we are accepting into our space and allowing to happen to us. Now, I'm not saying those people who are being abused and things of that nature, because that's a systemic breakdown of that person's willpower. Right. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you know damn well that you should have left and you had the opportunity and ability to, but they're going to change. And no, they're not.
Potential. I don't live off potential. I don't. You have the potential to change. When you change, let me know. That's not my job. And we learn that as we go. But in relationships, you know, a lot of people always say what their type is, right? Mm-hmm. And you're going to continue to attract your type, which is always the abusive one, which is always the one that is living off of you. They don't have the money. They don't have success because that's your type. And that's what you're giving off. You're giving off energetically your type, and you're going to keep attracting your type. And it works the same with abundance. Yeah. When you're dealing with abundance, you have to keep in mind that abundance is everywhere. It's not in one thing. So when you detach from what you categorize abundance is, then you are therefore become abundant. If I say I need $50,000, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to manifest $50,000, but in my head, I only can get to 50,000 if I go play the lotto. I literally just limited how God, the universe, is going to bring me that 50,000 because I said I only wanted it through lotto.
Mm-hmm. You put a
I
condition.
didn't say exactly. It can come from a loan. It can come from any other source, but because you siloed that source, you're no longer abundant. You do not welcome in any other opportunity to bless you. Same thing in relationships. If you're so focused on your type, focus on, you know, potential, what they can possibly be, versus what they're showing you, which is true ability, then you siloed, and you can't say, I can't find a good person. I can't find a good man. I can't find a good woman. You didn't want one because you wanted your type. They got dreads. Yeah. That's what you wanted.
Yeah, that person has been coming to you. God, God, Most High, whatever you want to call them, sends stuff to you, sends people to you along your path. And sometimes you are not in the position to receive because, like Joy said, you're so narrowly focused. You're so narrowly focused that if it doesn't look like this, it is not what I want.
Right.
Things come to us in so many different ways, and we have to be open to it. We have to realize you don't know everything.
Exactly.
You know, there's just no way to know it. There's no one person that knows everything. So why would I limit myself? And sometimes we've been so conditioned to limit ourselves that we don't even realize the negative self-talk when we're doing it. And that happens to everybody. Everybody negative self-talks themselves sometimes when they're not even really thinking about it. Oh, that was just a little bit of something. I was doing it the other day when I was helping somebody. I'm selling products and I'm walking them through this Black business blueprint that I created. And just, you know, I was just showing her one of my business friends, and I was just showing her. She was like, "Oh my God, that's amazing." I was like, you know, it wasn't even not that much. Da, 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 da.
Now that's a limited.
Those are
That's a
things,
limiting
those are
belief.
beliefs
Mm-hmm.
that, and no, it was a lot, right? It is a lot. And even though we don't even sometimes know what we're saying is a limiting belief, and we're limiting ourselves when we're doing it. So
Mm-hmm.
I work every day to make sure that I am speaking love, light, and positivity and prosperity into
Right.
myself first. Because remember, we
Right.
got to focus on self first and save self first, because nobody's coming to save you.
Nobody.
Joy can't save you. I can't save you.
And I'm not a counselor, so I'm not. Don't come over here with that.
I
But I literally, while you was talking, that's one of the first things when I'm talking with a client that want coaching. I give them a compliment and I see how they respond to it.
Mm.
Because if I say, "Oh, that's a nice jacket," oh man, I had this thing for 3. You can't. You're not open to receiving. You got too many blocks because you can't even say thank you.
Just thank you. That's all you had to
Or
say.
sit in your greatness. And believe it or not, a white man told me that. I'm one of my managers in 2015. I got my master's degree and everything. And he interviewed me. He was going to be my new manager. He interviewed me for a promotion. And he said, what's your education? I told him, I said, well, I got a bachelor's, this. And I said, oh, and I just got what I said. I said, oh, and just a MBA. He's talking about just a MBA.
Right. Just, there ain't no kind of just in front of MBA, friend.
Right. And
I got one of those. It wasn't just nothing, ma'am.
Right. And so I had to realize that I was so conditioned in imposter syndrome traits to where I wanted everybody else to feel comfortable. I did not want people to feel like I'm trying to showboat. At the end of the day, I'm good at what I do. I'm great at what I do. And I had to sit with that.
Isn't that weird?
I had to sit with that. I was like,
all the work that went through, all the work that you went through to achieve the MBA,
right,
and still have imposter syndrome. How can those two things exist in the same space? But it does. But it does.
It does. Being a Black female from the South, you talk to, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, to our Caucasian counterparts. And so it's an inherited belief that you're inferior in a way. But when I came into my supremacy, and I'm like, hold on. You can't outwalk me,
ma'am.
And I don't care what position you have, you're still not better than me, because I'm mastering everything that I'm mastering my life.
Absolutely.
Always
overprepared.
That's it. You're never
always owning this shit.
Do you know what's the difference between saying that I'm in competition with Joy or I'm in competition with Leanne?
Right.
I ain't never in competition with Joy. We could be doing the exact same thing. We are still going to do it differently because we have different experiences. We have different education. We have different life paths, thoughts, beliefs, hopes.
Different mamas, different daddies. We got everything.
Everything is different. And so our approach to things is going to be different. We can always be in collaboration. Why do we always have to be in competition?
And I think don't see it any other way.
We're conditioned to think that I have to be better than you. You have to.
That's why we spend our money on clothes. Because I have to show you my value. No, I don't.
I don't.
Because my bank account, my money market account, my stocks, my real estate portfolio, you would think why I'm not in Gucci and Fendi. Child, I'm at Temu. I'm at Shein.
Ma'am, come on. It is too easy to look good and not pay a lot of money.
Exactly. But when you see it, I got that thing on. I'm going to wear it like it came off from Nordstrom. But at the end of the day, what I wear is not going to amount to what I have, because I don't need you to see what I have. Right?
There you go. There you go.
And if we as Black people quit trying to, you can see somebody with the ugliest outfit on, they be like, man, this that Dulce. So that doesn't impress me.
Yeah. Yes. Normally, those things are the ugliest things you've ever seen. And
Right.
Connie said she's truly battling imposter syndrome, but learning to sit in it. And she's found that circle matters. It really does, Connie.
Yes.
And you're damn good. When you are damn good at what you do and you stop allowing others to force you to dim your light or making you feel like you've got to dim your light, and you start to live in your authentic truth, right? And focus on what success and happiness means to you, that imposter syndrome doesn't take as strong of a hold. Now, my internal hater, Ricky Bobby, everybody who's been on the show has heard of Ricky Bobby. He's my internal hater. That is my imposter syndrome. I gave him a name so I could tell him to shut the fuck up.
Right.
But that's what we have to do sometimes, right? Because I am not going to keep limiting myself when I know damn well the quality that I put out into this world. I know how hard I work, how hard I train, how hard I research before I go into a space, because I had imposter syndrome, right? That made me so concerned about not showing up properly that sometimes I over prepare to make sure. That's my trauma response. I'm gonna over prepare and make sure that I'm on top of everything that I say and that I know. If y'all see how I prepare for these shows, half the stuff I put in here, we may not even get to, because I would like to be prepared. I will never come on a show and a guest be just sitting here and wondering what we talking about. No, I lean in, I listen. Sharonda listens. We work so well together, and we put together a show that makes people feel welcome, that makes people feel heard and feel seen. Right. Because I know what I'm good at. Sharonda knows what she's good at. So what I want you guys to take from this is it's okay to pop your shit. It is okay.
And share the light.
Yes, to share that light, because that's why we were given it. Light isn't meant to be contained and held to yourself. Light is meant to illuminate the way for others.
Creator said, let your light shine.
That's it. So if I'm not shining, if I'm not sharing the gifts that the Most High has given to me and told me that I'm supposed to share, that's why He gave them to me, then I'm not even living in accordance with how I'm supposed to walk this earth.
Right.
Come on, girl.
And so
you living out of order.
Think about it. So when things don't happen for you and you're wondering why you're not prospering, why things aren't happening, maybe you are living out of order.
Right. And you know what? I'm going to go on a limb and say this because I believe with everything in me. Listen, I am the best version of God in my experience.
Woo-hoo! That's what I'm talking about. That part right there.
Truly realize that, the fact that I represent
that part right there.
I represent God in such a way. Everybody does. Do we not? Well, we're not all made in His image and in His likeness.
Right.
Yes. I represent Him in the way that He wanted to show up in this experience, in this earth experience, as joy.
Yes.
And I had to come to that conclusion. Like, girl, you don't have this ability to do this, and this, and this, and this, and the potential to do this and this for nothing. You know, and when you realize going back to that level of success and being able to share it. Now, I forgot where the scripture is located, but it was a story about the man. I tell it all the time. So if you're hearing it triple time, you're just hearing it. The story was the master was going away and he gave one of his servants 5 talents. Yeah. He gave one 2 talents and he gave one talent. The Bible says, according to their ability.
There you go. That part.
Some can handle more than you, but it doesn't make that person better than you. And this is why. Because when he came back and said, what did you do with what I gave you? Because that's what God tells you. What did you do with what I gave you?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
The one with 5 said, I did this and I doubled it. He said, good. The one with 2 said, I did this and I doubled it. Good. He went to the one, well, I buried it because I didn't think I was going to get no more. And he literally took what the one had and divided it equally with the 2 that did something. Let that sit in.
Mm-hmm. Let it marinate.
What are you doing with your gift? What are you doing what he gave you? What are you doing with your talent? And that is how I just did a masterclass helping people find their creativity, find your unique value, and turn it into something you can monetize. Switching from consumer to producer.
That's it. That's it.
What are you showing up as? I'm showing up as God in every aspect. Anybody I help, anybody I touch, anybody that I cross path with. And I'm going to go on another limb and throw this one out to you. You are somebody's answered prayer.
Yes.
Amen.
If somebody says, I'm sitting here like, you know what? I want to be on a podcast. You popped up, put out a notice. Hey, we want guests. You literally just answer somebody's prayer.
Yeah.
You may not think it's that big, but somebody need what you have.
Mm-hmm.
And so how dare you leave them without? Because
and if you don't,
are scared.
Exactly. If you don't give out what you have, he's going to take it away. Plain and simple. That's the reason why he's cursed the fig tree, because he wasn't given the fruit in his necessary season.
There you go.
It wasn't because he was mad because he was hungry.
No.
It was a parable of you're not giving the fruit in your season, so you don't need it.
Yeah.
You may not physically die, but it's something in you. You be like 10, 20 years later, still working at Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
You died.
Yeah.
Because you had the potential and the ability to be great. You slept on your gift. That's not my fault.
Yes. And I want to kind of shift our focus and shift our discussion a little bit to the concept of this superwoman syndrome that a lot of Black women have, because I want to make sure we touch on that, because I feel like that is a big part of this success trap that we get stuck in, right? And that's that belief that if I don't do it all, if I don't give it all, have it all, be it all, to me, that's a generational curse that a lot of us have been, and a cultural curse that a lot of us have been left with, and we disguise it as ambition.
Right.
Right? It gets disguised as ambition. And this superwoman syndrome that says, I've got to be the one to do it. So if you raise your hand, if you've ever been like, you know what, I'm going to just do it myself because they're not going to do it right. You've never even given someone, I'm putting mine too, never even given someone the opportunity to do it, because in your mind, you're the only one. Like God, he only gave you the gift to do this.
Right.
He gave it to a lot of people. He gave
it
to
others. And or in the workplace.
Yeah, or even if he didn't give it, he may have given it to you so that you can teach it to others. And you're not sharing that gift and allowing other people the opportunity to step into their level of greatness, because you are supposed to be their doorway and their guide.
You just gave somebody a business idea. I hope y'all heard that.
They don't be listening.
The ability, you can create a course on your expertise.
Yes.
Yep.
100%. There's somebody who wants to learn everything that you know. Everything you know. Yes, Connie, that's a straight line to burnout. That's why we're so burned out. That's why we're so overwhelmed and feeling underappreciated, because we felt that we had to do the most and go that extra 5, 6, 7, 10, 20 steps that were never asked of us.
Right.
That were never asked of us.
But like you said, it happened generations. When we couldn't go to school, high school was mandatory. But then now we in high school, okay, well, you need an associate's degree. We get an associate. Well, now you need a bachelor.
They keep moving the
now they keep moving the goalposts.
Yes.
So it makes you feel that you have to be 20 times greater than that mediocre white woman.
Well, because they tell us, because they show us we have to be. They show us every time that if you've ever been, and this has happened to me on a job site, okay? When I used to work at name brand telecom company, that's what we call it, name brand telecom company. And we had started a whole new group, meaning this whole new group started. I wrote all the training.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote all the policies and procedures. I conducted all the training. But when they put somebody, and this was me as just a worker in the group.
I would have took that stuff back.
When they brought in a lead, it wasn't me the first time. But what did I do? I didn't sit back and be like, oh, this, and this. I was like, I'll be damned if you do it again.
Right.
3 months later, where was Leanne in that same position? Right? Because I realized, oh, you doing too much, and they didn't see the value. So I started to make sure I was calling out all the things that I did and showing them, but not doing too much, because sometimes we try to do too much.
Right.
Sometimes you have to pull back, but you have to express where you have added that value and you are doing the things. And I put myself in there. I would like to be in the next lead because I have this, and this.
So how can we help somebody who has a similar story as that, similar experience, navigate and be successful with their gift? So you stated that you put these programs, you pretty much established some standard operating procedures, or a process, whatever you did, and it wasn't acknowledged, right?
It was used, so it was acknowledged. Because like I said, the program wouldn't have existed without me doing all the work of getting the stuff there. But they looked at it as, well, this is just what needed to be done to start.
And a part of your job.
Right. No, it wasn't. It wasn't a part of my job. I did it because I do not like chaos and disorder. I cannot function in that. So when I see a problem, sometimes I jump ahead before I've been asked to fix the problem. So for somebody else, if you're in this same situation, the first thing you have to do is be more vocal. You have to stand up for yourself and what you're doing and what you want. Well, first it starts with doing what you want. What is your goal? What is it that you want in the end? And what are the steps necessary for me to get there? And what have I already done that shows that I can handle this? You have to pitch for yourself. Right. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to do it. When I started showing them all that I done and how I was doing this and they had no choice, because it was that or I was leaving. Right. But and sometimes you have to be on that hill and you have to be willing to stand for what is right for you or leave.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna do my I need my job description. I'm doing what's on that paper. And now we have to be that way. If it's not written on that job description, or in a performance review, this is not exclusive, but included. I need you to include. I want you to write out, because I'm following. Because if she can be mediocre and get a promotion, I'm going to do what you're paying me to do.
Bingo,
We're not giving nobody extra.
Well, that part right there. Well, this is the thing. This is what I will say, right? One, again, I ain't never betting myself against nobody else, right? The fact that this white lady or this non-black or whoever gets this other opportunity that I didn't get, I don't let that fuck up where I'm going. So there are times when I will do what is outside of that, but what I've learned is you have to be strategic if you're going to go that route. And when I say strategic, if it ain't in your job description, you damn sure better make sure that it is in your performance review as going exactly. Tony, it has its limits. Now I'm not. Now would I have done the same thing and wrote all the things? Hell no.
I'll give you breadcrumbs. There you go.
Paid me. But I was young. I was trying to be the best, right? And to show that I had value, because I still had some imposter syndrome going on. Would this Leanne do that? Hell no. You're going to pay me for what I have. So yes, I'm going to do my job and I'm going to do it in excellence, because that is the standard that I set for me. And if I do anything above and beyond, it is very strategic, calculated, and intentional, and I know what's needed to get to my next level.
Right.
And you've got a distinct time frame to give me my level, or I will go where my talents are valued. People are scared to leave and to move somewhere else. We scared to move around like we're supposed to be stuck in this
Speak
one
for yourself,
space.
ma'am.
Right.
My resume is littered with different government agencies.
Right, but you know when we were coming up,
longevity
we were
was the
told
winner.
about longevity. We were taught you get somewhere, you stay somewhere you should not have. Every year you've been at a different job because it doesn't show stability and blah, 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 blah.
Ain't my fault.
Right?
Lies
That's not
we
my
were
fault.
told.
That's not my
Lies
problem.
we were told.
I will move around. When I left that specific position, because we had a racist VP that came in, and Leanne was over doing all the things for all the people. They targeted me for unfairly and unjustly for removal, termination, as a low performer. My manager gave me a 2.5 out of 5 rating. I ain't never in my life. But the first thing it did is it made me think, damn, have I been slacking?
Right.
Until I asked somebody else. Right. It will make you question yourself. But don't ever let somebody else's view of you question you. I wrote out an 8-page response to that shit of all the things that I had done, because you got to prove to yourself. You're not proving to nobody else.
Right.
Prove to yourself first, and then you can go and you can fight and battle. I went to a job paying me $15,000 more immediately. Because I knew my value and I knew my worth.
But statistically, you are supposed to move every 2 years.
Yeah.
Unless you got one of those careers like you're a doctor, you don't work hard for that. You're supposed to, because if I'm getting a 2% with you and they're giving me 20,000 over here, why would I stay over here? There's not that much loyalty in the world anymore. Man. You have to make, and that's a part of managing burnout, is because you have to be able to understand, like, if I'm not growing up in this company, I'm growing out of this company. It's only 2 ways, and you have to manage that. So when you're in a particular place, you are there to learn everything 100%. You can, take in what you can, and prepare your move. Because if you're going to get stuck, because you're going to, because then what you're going to start looking at, like, oh, all this crazy stuff going on in the world, somebody's going to pick you up, right? You just need to make sure that when you're navigating burnout, that you're not, like Leanne said, setting boundaries, protecting your time, right? You don't have to give more. You give what you're paid for.
Absolutely.
And that old idea of, well, I do that and beyond. I don't, not anymore. I told this one employer, he was like, well, I was expecting you to do this because, you got this degree. I said, but you didn't pay for that degree. You paid for a bachelor's degree experience. And that's what I'm giving you. Now, if you want to give me an increase that's worth a master's level, then you would get that level, but you're not getting that. You ain't even getting none of my certifications. You're getting that bachelor's because it's in general. That's it. And you have to be okay with that. I'm not giving you that.
See, I think a lot of us don't really understand the value of our self-worth. You know what I'm saying? Because we're settled at a 9 to 5 with where there's a ceiling to where I know I'm not gonna break this ceiling, but I'm gonna be content enough to stay here just because, I don't think I would better myself if I leave this place where I'm at right now, but knowing that I'm not going to get nowhere if I stay here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to break that cycle on our own thinking of where, you know what, I'm finna stop underselling me for this little job right here. And I know I can go up over here and they're going to value me better than right here. Because I know people right now that's been at a job for 10, 15 years and they miserable as hell. And I'm like, why you still there?
Sir, come on through, Tony.
Right. You can stay in the same, you can stay in the same field. You just ain't got to stay in the same job.
You have to stay in
Yeah,
that.
right. I mean, it ain't been no elevation in them 15 years you there. You still got the same job title. Come on now, something.
But some
something
people
is
say
wrong
because
with
they
you.
exactly there. It's a fear and lack on their part. Sometimes people are scared of failure, and they're just as scared of success.
But it's the scarcity mindset. Even though
It is.
scarcity, everybody think is money. It's not. Scarcity is a poverty mindset that you feel that you're not going to get enough. And it's like, no, absolutely not. And it's okay to tell people no, because that was one thing you put on a listen. No is a complete sentence.
Absolutely is.
Look, boundary. Look. Baby, there's not a show that doesn't go by that we do not talk about the boundaries. That we don't talk about what's in your cup is for you, and you only give from your abundance or your overflow. We talk about this, and we gonna keep talking about it because the goal is to drill it into your mind and your heart and your soul, so it is second nature and is no longer a thought. It is just an immediate action on your part. You cannot continue to do all the things for all the people and not do for you.
Right.
Because when we're so focused on everybody else and living somebody else's definition of success, you will never be happy. You will never feel fulfilled because you're not living your authentic truth. Right. You're allowing somebody else to dictate your happiness, your success, your prosperity. I gave that shit up for Lent. Won't do it again.
Right. Listen, that's why I keep saying when I grow up, I want to be just like me because I don't see myself in nobody else.
Yes. When I grow up, I want to be like
I'm just gonna clap the rest of the doggone shit.
You got that fan thing. But then there's also something that I wanted to bring up about navigating through the burnout. Not only being able to say no, if you're experiencing the microaggressions, the cultural biases, keep detailed notes. I'm talking about names, dates before you keep your notes. Send it to your own email.
Yes.
And make sure you do put something on record. The reason why, because we are afraid to go use HR is not your friend, but use HR. Go put it on record.
It's a tool.
I tell people that all the time.
Go put it on record because when you file a complaint, the first thing they're going to ask, did you go through HR and the necessary thing? And if you say no, they're going to deny your claim. Go ahead. I don't care how many times. And then make sure you document it. I went to another email. I went to HR, spoke to this, did it, and BCC it to yourself. Then after that, if it continues to go, utilize your EAP. Let me tell you something. I was short term and FML on you in 2 seconds.
Yes. Yes.
It's their benefits. Use their benefits. If you're stressed out, because that's a real thing now, you call that EAP number, they're going to give you one of their doctors. Listen, I would get an Academy Award in them.
Yes.
Because what I'm going to do is utilize your doctor to tell you stress me out.
Since they want to listen to
how much, right? And then how much time I need off. So then when I don't feel like dealing with you, you know what? I'm going to do FML from the rest of the day. I don't even have to tell you why. You have to use those
game, y'all. Play the
because
game.
if not, you're going to be mad because they fired you.
And the benefits are there to support you.
Exactly.
That's why you have them. You're paying into those benefits. So why would you not utilize them, right? Because the goal is boundaries only work if you're enforcing them.
Yep.
They're not going to work if you just go, because if you don't enforce it, it's just a recommendation, just a request. It ain't nothing else.
Exactly.
Right?
And let them fire you.
Yes. And then file that lawsuit.
Let them fire you. People so afraid. I'm gonna quit in 45. No, absolutely not. You're gonna have to roll me up out of here. No, because when I go to file unemployment, you fired me.
Right. This is what I tell people. HR is meant to keep the company from being sued. That's what people don't get. You have to know how to utilize the resources that you have. And so if you are having issues, you should be documenting everything and putting it on record. Right? Now, that doesn't mean that HR is always going to support you. The goal is for it to be a record. The goal is for it. There's a person on TikTok. Her name is Victoria Veronica. If you watch her little skits, I love her skits. Veronica ain't doing nothing. She ain't doing nothing extra. Right. What's in her job? You ain't gonna play with her. She will. She will come out of a meeting and document everything that you did. Send you an email about it, even if you love it. Talk to her. One skit was about the manager coming to her and asking her, why does she keep doing this? And she was like, just, that covers you and that covers me and da, 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 da. And as soon as the lady walked away, she sent in the same wrap up that she did per our conversation. It just happened and da, 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 right? This is I love that skit, but it has reality to it. You are not the helpless victim. You have rights. Companies cannot just treat you any way. And you have a right to be in a healthy and a safe and comfortable work environment. If not, you need to check out what you can do to rectify that. And sometimes that is leave. Sometimes it is leave. Yeah. These millennials or these Gen Zers, whatever I don't know all them other generations.
They don't tolerate nothing.
Don't tolerate nothing. They will take a personal day or quit their job and they ain't got
a mental health day. They were like, I'm having a bad day today.
We have to take lessons from them because we've been told you don't do that. You go and you work until the day you die. And those people will have a new body in that same position before you're cold. Because you didn't take care of you first. So hold on, we gotta wrap up because it's 11:20. So we got to wrap up and we got to go. We want to thank you for being here. If you have any final words, Joy, and tell the people how they can connect with you.
Absolutely. Again, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure.
You are always welcome.
My final words is you have to live for yourself, right? Be successful within your own right. Find your unique value. And I want you to build on that because everybody has it. I don't care if it's cutting toenails. If you be the best toenail cutter you can be,
period.
And you can absolutely do it. On Facebook, joy.f.young. If you're on TikTok, it's The Winning Circle, which is my life coaching program. I also got a Facebook group, The Winning Circle. And you can catch me on Amazon. Any one of my books are available. And I would love to engage with you and let's master life.
Yes, I love that. Amen. And thank you for being here. You are always welcome here.
You family now.
Yeah, exactly.
You brownstone family now, baby.
You've been here for the second time. Now you can go in the kitchen. I ain't even gonna get you no water.
I told you, family now.
Yeah, once you've been here the second time, you can't. I don't even ask me to get you no water. You know where it is in the kitchen.
You know what? You better go.
You know where the cups and everything is in the kitchen. You are part of the family now. So, and I want to say this, right? Oh, Sharonda, if you have any final words before I wrap up, you and Tony, go ahead. You get 30 seconds.
On this thing. You are more than overqualified for the current job that you're in and the next one after that. And stuff. Don't be afraid to move around. You have this. Bet on yourself for a change. Stop letting these
bet on black.
Yes. I done threw my fan.
The fan left.
The fan done fell out.
I love it. Bet on yourself.
Bet on black. I'm gonna bet on black at all times. Tony, what about you? What you got to say to the people?
First, I want to say to all my queens out there, continue to strive in 2025 because we all we got. And man, it's gonna take all of us to elevate us. You feel what I'm saying?
That's right.
Listen, as always, man, y'all drop some pearls. I got notes to take back to my group later today. Woo! I'm on high. Joy, love you.
I don't know. Tony gonna take his notes.
You are family now, and you can't get rid of us now. Can't get rid of us. Y'all can catch me every Saturday and Sunday at Cityscape Radio, the Brownstone with the Eye of the Storm, giving that Southside Chicago flavor, baby. Come on in from 7 to 9 p.m. And you can catch me on Facebook. We are streaming live on my Twitch channel. So, we out here. We out here. And I love
I
y'all.
love Black excellence.
Yes. And look, as I close up, if you've been waiting for permission to stop overworking, to stop overgiving, to stop extending yourself, then you just got it today,
Right.
in this moment, for the last hour. Success has never been about exhaustion. I don't know
Right.
where it came from. Your worth is not in your hustle. Your peace is priceless, and you deserve a life that reflects that. Only person that can give it to you is you. Nobody's coming to save you.
That's
So
it.
take a step back, breathe a little bit, and then choose you.
I
Remember,
love that.
success should never require you to break yourself
We're
to build
Black.
something for somebody else. Let me say that again. For
Say it
those
again.
in the back who didn't hear me,
Yeah, them
success
ones up
should
there.
never require you to break yourself to build something for somebody else.
Right.
And as always, remember to wake up happy, sis. We will see you later. Bye. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Wake Up Happy Sis Show. Join us live every Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern for more joy, healing, and sisterhood. Until next time, keep thriving unapologetically, sis.